Hello students, welcome back to the online classes. Today I am going to take a new lesson, lesson number 9, Madam Rides the Bus. You might have already, you have traveled alone by yourself many times. In this story, a small girl is there named Valley. She travels for the first time in the bus. Now, a bus always goes from in front of her house. So, she wants to ride this. So, the story is about her traveling and the experiences that she had, the adventurous travel that she had. The story is about it. Let us see how it goes. Page number 117. Page number 117. There was a girl named Valimai who was called Valley for short. She was 8 years old and very curious about things. Her favorite pastime was standing in the front doorway of her house, watching what was happening in the street outside. There were no playmates of her own age on her street, and this was about all she had to do. But for Valley, standing at the front door was every bit as enjoyable as any of the elaborate games other children played. Watching the street gave her many new, unusual experiences. So, the girl, Valimai, in short, she was called as Valley. She was 8 years old, and in front of her house, the main road was there from where the bus used to travel. Since she was 8 years old, she did not have friends of her own age. So she used to stand near the door and watch people coming and going or traveling by the bus. And she loved more watching people than playing the games. She found that this was the best pastime to stand in front of the door and watch people, different types of people wearing different types of dresses, traveling in different types of vehicles. So many things she could do, and the time used to pass by as she stood there, and that was the most fabulous experience that Valley used to have while standing there. The most fascinating thing of all was the bus that traveled between her village and the nearest town. It passed through her street each hour, once going to the town and once coming back. The sight of the bus, filled each time with a new set of passengers, was a source of unending joy for Valley. Now, for Valley, the most fascinating or the most experiencing time was when the bus used to travel in front of her house. The bus was going after every hour, and that also twice in a day. That is, once going to the city and then coming back to the village. So, every hour the bus was traveling in front of her house. From her house, it used to go, and she used to enjoy it. There was no end to her enjoyment when she sees the bus. Day after day, she watched the bus, and gradually a tiny wish crept into her head and grew there. She wanted to ride on that bus, even if just once. This wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire. Valley would stare wistfully at the people who got on or off the bus when it stopped at the street corner. Their faces would kindle in her longings, dreams, and hopes. If one of her friends happened to ride the bus and tried to describe the sights of the town to her, Valley would be too jealous to listen and would shout in English, "Proud, proud." Neither she nor her friends really understood the meaning of the word, but they used it often as a slang expression of disapproval. Now, day after day, she used to watch this bus coming and going, people getting in and getting off. And slowly, this watching became a kind of a wish for her to travel in the bus. And that wish became very strong day by day, and she wanted somehow to go in that bus. She used to ask people about the traveling, and if by chance one of her friend traveled the bus, then she would tell to Valley how beautiful the city is or how wonderful the traveling was. Hearing this, she would feel jealous about it, and she would shout in English, "Proud, proud." Both of them, Valley and her friend, may not know the real meaning of proud, but still they knew that it is something negative. So they both used to tell proud to Valley used to tell proud to her friends out of jealousy. Over many days and months, Valley listened carefully to conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly used the bus, and she also asked a few discreet questions here and there. This way, she picked up various small details about the bus journey. The town was 6 miles from her village. The fare was 30 paise one way, which is almost nothing at all. She heard one well-dressed man say, but to Valley, who scarcely saw that much money from one month to the next, it seemed a fortune. The trip to the town took 45 minutes. On reaching town, if she stayed in her seat and paid another 30 paise, she could return home on the same bus. This meant that she could take the 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45, and be back home by about 2:45. On and on went her thoughts as she calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned. Now, she was very keen to know about it. So, over many days and months, Valley listened carefully. She went on to people, spoke to the people, asked the people, and people suggested her, told her. She came to know from them that the distance, that it takes 30 paise, the fare is 30 paise, the time it takes is 45 minutes, and distance from village to town is 6 miles. So she calculated, she came to know from the people talking here and there, and some questions she herself put in front of them, asking them what time it will reach, how far it is, and all those things. So she calculated all those things. 30 paise for her, it was too much. It was only one side 30 paise, so both side 60 paise. So she thought that is too much for her. She would take time to collect. Maybe 2 months, because she may be getting pocket money 1 paise per day. So it would take 60 days to collect the 60 paise. She understood that if she takes 1 o'clock bus, by 1:45 it will reach to the city. She need not to get down to the bus. She should sit in the same place and give the 30 paise for the returning. So she found it's not so hard, not so difficulty, not so dangerous for her. It is quite easy. Just go and sit and come back. So she started planning, replanning, thinking, rethinking for the right time. She waited when to travel the bus. Well, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village and turning into the main highway when a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus, stop the bus," and a tiny hand was raised commandingly. So one afternoon, one fine spring day, one afternoon, as the bus was moving, the conductor could hear a small tiny voice asking the bus to stop and showing the hand to stop. The bus slowed down to a crawl, and the conductor, sticking his head out the door, said, "Hurry then, tell whoever it is to come quickly." "It's me," shouted Valley. "I am the one who has to get on." By now, the bus had come to a stop, and the conductor said, "Oh, really? You don't say so?" "Yes, I simply have to go to town," said Valley, still standing outside the bus. "And here's my money." She showed him some coins. So, when the bus slowed down, the conductor looked out of the window and asked, "Yes, come on, tell everybody, those who want to come to travel by the bus." Valley said, "It is me who have to travel." Then he again surprised and said, why? Then she says that I want to just travel the bus, just want to go to the city and come back. And here is the money, and she shows the money to the conductor. Okay, okay, but first you must get on the bus, said the conductor, and he stretched out a hand to help her up. Never mind, she said, I can get on by myself. You don't have to help me. Now, the conductor understood that she is want to just to go travel. So she said, okay, come on. For that, you have to get inside the bus. So he extended his hand so that since she was small, she may not get inside the bus or onto the steps. So he extended his hand, and she said, don't mind, I can manage myself, and she got inside the bus. The conductor was a jolly sort, fond of joking. Oh, please, don't be angry with me, my fine madam, he said. Here, have a seat right up there in front. Everybody move aside, please. Make way for madam. It was the slack time of day, and there were only 6 or 7 passengers on the bus. They were all looking at Vali and laughing with the conductor. Vali was overcome with shyness. Avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. So the conductor was a very jolly good fellow. He used to crack joke. He was a funny type of person and making people laugh. So when Vali said that I can manage by myself, I can get inside by myself, the conductor, okay, fine madam, you please come inside and you can take the front seat. And he tells everybody, there were hardly passengers there, only 6 to 7 passengers were there. And just to make laugh, make fun of our Vali, he says, come on everybody, please give way to this madam, let her go and sit there. She just makes. Now, when people all looked at her and started laughing, smiling at her, she felt shy. Imagine, 8 years old girl, she was feeling shy when this conductor said and people laughing at her. May we start now, madam? The conductor asked, smiling. Then he blew his whistle twice and the bus moved forward with a roar. It was a new bus, its outside painted a gleaming white with some green strips along the sides. Inside, the overhead bars shone like silver. Directly in front of Vali, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. The seats were soft and luxurious. So when Vali sat in the bus, the conductor again asked, yes madam, can we start now? And he whistled the whistle and the bus started moving. The bus was very new, brand new bus it was. It was painted with white and green. The windows were looking silver type, and where Vali was sitting on top of it, there was a clock also. The seats were very spongy and luxurious. There was all comfort for Vali to have it. Vali devoured everything with her eyes. But when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by a canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. Now, when conductor was saying all these things, Vali was a bit angry, but she drank all her anger through her eyes. She just showed that anger through her eyes. She did not speak anything. She sat on the seat, but the window was a bit high for her. She could not see outside. So she stood on the seat and then she was looking outside the window, the beautiful scenery from where the bus was moving. The bus was now going along the bank of a canal. The road was very narrow. On one side there was the canal and beyond it palm trees, grassland, distant mountains and the blue sky. On the other side was a deep ditch and then acres and acres of green fields, green, 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 as far as the eye could see. Oh, it was all so wonderful. Suddenly she was startled by a voice. Listen, child, said the voice. You shouldn't stand like that. Sit down. So the bus, as bus was moving, she saw on the one side of the bus from where from the which window she was seeing, there was a lot of greenery. There was mountains, there was a canal. Beyond the canal, fields were there, distant place, mountain was there, and sky, blue sky. So she was enjoying all this beautiful scenery. On the other side of the bus, there was bit ditch, a kind of a little deep ditch was there, and after that it was only paddy field. Everywhere paddy field could be seen. As far as the eyes could go, it was paddy field spread there, and all were green. So the eyes were feeling so happy, so joyful by seeing the greenery. So she was very much engrossed. She was very much busy in watching this beautiful scenery. Suddenly she heard someone tapping on her and telling her, "Come on, little girl, don't stand like this, sit on your place." Sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her, but she was annoyed by his attention. "There's nobody here who is child," she said haughtily. "I have paid my 30 paise like everyone else." The conductor chimed in, "Oh, sir, but this is a very grown-up madam. Do you think a mere girl could pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone?" So she sat down on her place and then looked who told her this or who had asked her to sit down. She saw an elderly person standing in front of her who was a bit concerned towards her because she was a small child. So he was concerned that if the brakes are put and she may fall down out of the window. So that's why this elderly person told her to sit down. But she took it in another manner. She got angry and shouted, "Hello, mister, I am not a child. In this bus, there is no child traveling. Okay. Second thing, I have also given 30 paise for my seat. So there is no need of telling me about this." Okay. The conductor immediately, "Hello, sir, come on, don't be, go close to this girl. She is not a child. She is grown up like everyone. And see, she has given the 30 paise also. So don't underestimate her. She is grown up, little beautiful girl." Valley shot an angry glance at the conductor and said, "I am not a madam. Please remember that. And you have not yet given me my ticket." "I'll remember," the conductor said, mimicking her tone. Everyone laughed, and gradually Valley too joined in the laughter. So when the conductor said, "No, hello sir, please sit down." So Valley got angry. "Hello, I am not madam here. Okay. And second thing, you haven't given me my ticket." And the conductor, "Okay, I will not call you again, madam, and I will give the ticket for your ticket." So everybody started laughing at her again as the conductor said this, and she also joined with the people. Okay, students, enough for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Till then, stay home, stay safe, have a nice day. Thank you.